We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaud. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. Now, they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
Is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down. And, Charles, this defense, I have to imagine, kind of licking its chops when you get a chance to face a team that's lost 3 straight.
And my surprise was listening to their head coach in his weekly presser, because normally you and I see guys that get up there and say, everybody's a threat any given Sunday, that sort of thing. But he was asked if this might be a trap game, and he essentially said he didn't see anything to worry about. Now, normally you say that to your team, but you don't tell us. You definitely don't say it to the media. Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dixon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Second and 12. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On 1st and 10, Eubanks. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Back to throw. Eubanks throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play there on the catch and run.
I'm not sure if this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. On first down, McClendon. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. This defense for the Saints, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
To throw on second down, Eubanks. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Chambers. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And his kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints have taken the lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And you'd think on 3rd down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the give, this is Dixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Eubanks. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hoffman. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw. Eubanks. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets it down to the 32. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Off play action. Eubanks. And that's incomplete.
And my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw again. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
And his kick here is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. Right. So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
And this is caught by Williams. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run on first down. It's Porter, and this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. On third down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 there, and it brings up fourth.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
On first down, Eubanks. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. There's a nice move. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A third field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Eubanks. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
From the 29, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. On first down, Porter. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Porter. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On first down, Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, he'll rifle this one deep right side.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off down at the 2. And he is all the way up past the 25.
So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
So here is Washington now to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Eubanks. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out right around the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Eubanks. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Eubanks. He finds his man. Complete. It's Logan. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Washington on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Eubanks. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Long day. Always going to be a long day back here.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On third down, Porter. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
The
leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Eubanks. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. We've got a little more than a minute to go, and I think the offense is saying, hey, all we need here, a field goal, and we can take the lead into intermission.
Well, I think that's what the goal should be. Give your kicker a chance to give you those 3 points. But in the meantime, if someone falls asleep on the defensive side, you might take advantage of that and get a big shot downfield, too.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Throw left side complete. That's Porter. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They'll run on first down. It's Porter, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Porter. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team. And they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. The Panthers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we make the trip east as we head all the way to Jacksonville to check on the Jags. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Trevor Lawrence with a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. The Jets still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for Washington, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. This one taken just inside the 10 and makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Barker. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first down, Porter. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go play action now. Wilson. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And as we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Whenever you talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Barker. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you...
And a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the 2nd half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the 2nd half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
First possession of the 2nd half now for Washington. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll get it to Dixon, running left. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Operating from the gun, Eubanks. And this is going to be incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 4 yards remain for second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Porter. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. To throw again on second down. Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Well, this is caught by Williams. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Eubanks. He finds his man, complete. That's Hoffman. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. A run by Dixon. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on first down, Eubanks. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Off the play fake, Eubanks. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Operating from the gun, Eubanks. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Logan.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Dixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hands it off out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Porter, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And here's a good way to kick off a drive complete over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw. Eubanks. And he's taken down here by the Saints. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Washington on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. From the gun on 3rd down, Eubanks. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Runs through the contact. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And this is why more and more teams are getting their wide receivers involved in the running game. When you've got playmakers on the perimeter, you've got to get creative and find ways to get the ball in their hands. And here, this is a great job to get out of that initial contact and turn it into a big play.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Right back to Dixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for a 4th quarter lead. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The New Orleans offense set to take over. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Now Wilson on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Wilson. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Porter. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. The Washington offense set to take over again. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
From the gun on 3rd down, Eubanks. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter. He's been terrific so far.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
On 3rd down, Winslow, and he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wilson. He's got a first down past the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Everybody's down in control. Let's just make plays, man.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Now it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barker. And down he'll go at the 25. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Throwing now is Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's complete to Williams. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Wilson to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Porter. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. There's Wilson. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And his kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
they're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play.